Good morning. Okay, let's see if we have anybody hop on. Good morning. Okay. Oop. Happy Monday, the beginning of the week. If you're hopping on, say hello. Just give me a hello. Trying to still get that algorithm up. Facebook likes to kind of mess with it every now and then. So just give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Let me know you're here. Just say hello if you would. And where are you coming in from? I'm here. I'm near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's beautiful out today. That fall's starting to come in. So the weather's really nice. Okay, so we are going to continue on. Hello, good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Annie. Oh, you're in Philadelphia. Okay, so you're a Pennsylvania girl. We're going to continue on with our Thanksgiving table. And this is the third week. I am going to do a 4-week. I'm doing a 4-week series. So we are just over the halfway point. Oh, you're in Florida. I love Florida. It's one of my favorite states. So we are about, we're just over halfway now. We're 3/4 of the way today. We are week number 3. So we have today, and then next week we will finish up our table. We wanted to do, I'm doing a series on just a simple, inexpensive Thanksgiving table. A lot of families gather together for Thanksgiving and not necessarily Christmas. So, and the Thanksgiving table is kind of an important table for a lot of families. Of course, you know, families come home. That is a time when families usually do join together. It's the biggest holiday for travel and families joining together. So I figured let's do something fun. Let's do something inexpensive. The table can look beautiful, but it doesn't have to be over expensive. And I'm a, you know, not less is more kind of girl. I'm a more is more kind of girl. So getting the table to not be so crowded is tough for me. Just because I'm an overdoer. I love lots of glitz, lots of glamour. So me scaling back a little was a little bit tough because I would have just, you know, ran crazy with this table. But we're going to do it a little bit more simple. And I don't know about how that you do it, but at Thanksgiving, I don't like to throw all the food onto the table because there's so much going onto the table already. And I like to kind of just save it for small decor items, having some centerpieces and a few little pieces of decor in there. And I would rather set the items out and let people fill their plates. So kind of more like a buffet line where everything's still staying warm. And we kind of just have the countertops at home where I just set it out. And if you don't, you can always, you know, put some tables out and let people do it that way. That way they can gather what they want. And we're not just passing tons of plates around, trying to find room where to set them items at. Of course, you can set a few things out if you want. I don't like to clog the table out with the food other than what is on our plate. So that's kind of how I do it at my home. Everybody has their own ways of doing things. But we're going to move on with the table. So I will show everybody currently where we're at. So we're going to turn. Okay. This is currently where we're at the moment. Last week was about our centerpiece. So we did our centerpiece last week, I think. I can't even remember where I'm at. We also, these are the mats that we've done. If you didn't get to watch the other two series, just go back, you can find those. This is actually my double-sided flags that I carry in the shop because I didn't have placemats, but nobody knows, right? So these became placemats. I don't do a dining room, or I don't do a table cloth, just for the fact being, I already had told you why, because I have grandchildren and I've always had children at our table, and all it took was one pull from a child and then the whole table had been wiped out. So I like to just give some place settings, the placemats. So I do that to give it some added color. We did the little bags, which I think I am going to use for favor bags. I was putting the dinnerware in them, the utensils. I don't think I'm going to go that route. I think I want to use these as a little favor bag for everybody to take something home in. We did our little mini cutting boards, and I put the stands on them. I still have these if anybody's interested in them. We are going to use them. I'm going to do a table setting series when Christmas comes rolling around. We're going to reuse these again for a Christmas setting. But these are fun. The kids, we're going to have I have little Sharpie dry erase markers I'm going to put out with those. And, you know, the kids can color on them. They can write something on them. And the adults can write something on them. And that'd be something that everybody can share at the table. And we just set these up. These are Dollar Tree items, Dollar Tree plates, a Dollar Tree plate. And the chargers I've had just collecting over the years. I use them periodically. So I gave everybody a different charger. I was just at Hobby Lobby and I found a white one. So I had another color there. I can't even remember what it was, but I changed it out for the white. I kind of like the white. And it's a different one as this one here is. So every charger here is different. Okay, so that's what we've been working on. Let me get this off the table. And we're moving on. As you can see, I added some wine glasses. We're going to work on some things for these today. And these are wine glasses. Excuse me. These are wine glasses that I put in here. And they're all from the Dollar Tree. So they were only $1 each. Okay, so you can either fill these with wine or you can fill them with water. That's up to you. Nobody in my family drinks wine. We're not wine drinkers, so we just use these as water goblets. Okay, but we're going to do something with those today. But before we do that, we are going to move on to something else. We're going to have to start with something and then we're going to come back to it, only because we need to let it dry out a little bit, okay? I am going to make a dinner menu and I'm going to put that onto the table. So I wanted to do it so that everybody can see it. When they sit down, they know what we're having for dinner. It's going to be, of course, it's going to be on the buffet, but it just gives it a cute little added detail. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to show you what I use. This is something that's very inexpensive as well. Okay, so all I did was, I was at Michael's, and those cute little bins that they have, like kind of like Target has sometimes, where you go in and they have the bins first and they got the little, you know, doodads and stuff in there. They had these cute little plaque hangers. You know, you could put whatever. Really cute. They were only $1. Our Dollar Tree occasionally carries things like this too. I did not see any, but I did see these at Michael's. So I thought I can do something with that, and I know I can. So I'm going to pick these up. Well, I'm going to use them today. All I did was, I'm going to literally use them for I'm going to make them as a stand. So what I needed to do, they're going to be kind of on this cute little pedestal. All right. So what I had to do was I had to take and I just pulled the staples out with the little twine, and I took this off here. And when I did that, I had to, you don't have to, but I did. I just filled in the holes, and I probably should have used wood putty, but I didn't because I didn't have any here at my shop, but I did have spackling. So I just threw some spackling in it, okay? Just to cover the little holes. If you don't, it's not a huge deal. After I did that, and then I'm gonna stain it with you guys. I kind of don't like how the stain is anyway, so I might have just left it alone because you really can't see it in the end. What I'm gonna do is, and like I said, I just covered the holes with the little lightweight spackling, okay? What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna stain that. So that's why we're gonna come back to that. All right, so when I stain, I use gloves just because I don't like the stain on my hand. And no matter how careful I have been over the years, I always get stain on me. So today I am just using, one of my favorite colors of stain is walnut, and it's the dark walnut by Mimwax. I use this often. And this is almost the same color as the box that we used for our centerpiece. So that's why I'm gonna kind of use this. So let me get this off to the side. Alright, so I'm just going to use a piece of butcher paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all stained up for you guys. And when I stain, I just use these cheap foam brushes. And that's it. And I buy them in packs. Like in big packs, because I stain and paint a lot. So I like to just be able to throw them away. I'm not using a brush that I have to clean out. I hate cleaning brushes. So usually I'm just using a foam brush when I paint. The only time I don't is whenever I'm painting my bigger wooden signs. Now if I'm staining, I always use a foam brush. The stain is a mess. So I'm just going to get it really good. And these stain really nicely. I'm trying not to make a mess here because I'm always a mess with stain. And when I stain, I usually like to stain outside. Okay. So I literally just got it all covered. Okay. So let's get this stain, throw that brush out. Oh, wait, I didn't do the base. All right, and then I just take, after you stain, you're always gonna need to wipe the stain off, the excess stain, okay? So get in there and wipe it off real good. This one here is not too bad. And this should dry up quickly, and I'll tell you what I do, as you've seen, I kind of just, I take a piece of paper and I set it under my heat press. Now if you're doing that with a painted item, you got to really watch, because that painted item sometimes, if it gets too hot, it bubbles. I've not had that issue with stain. So let me get a piece of butcher paper here. I'm just going to set it over here to start drying, okay? So there we go. It's just, I stained it all, and I'm going to set it there to dry. Okay, so I was at Hobby Lobby, and I picked up these tiny little candle pedestals, bases, and I thought, how cute is that? So I'm going to stain this as well, and we're going to use it as our base to our menu. Okay, now I'm going to throw that away. And then I'm just going to wipe this off. So I just got it all stained up. I'm going to wipe it off, and it's also going to sit under my heat press to dry. And stain usually dries fairly quickly when it's under the heat press. So I'm just going to wipe off as much as I can. I'm going to sit that under there. Let's get rid of this because we don't want it on none of our other stuff. Okay, so while those are drying, oh, we got Wisconsin here. Okay, so while that's drying, we are moving on. Need to make sure I get all that stain out of the way because that stuff can be a mess. All right, so I'm gonna have 2 of these, and these came in a 4-pack at Hobby Lobby. I did not see these or at Michael's or anywhere else, so when I seen them at Hobby Lobby, if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, I'm sure you could probably even order these online. It was like $2.99 for 4 of them, so they were really inexpensive. They're only about 3 inches tall. If I can find my tape measure. I wish I'd have saved the bag, but I didn't. Or I could have told you exactly the number on them. They're only 3 inches. So they're 3 inches little candelabra bases, or candle bases. So let's do that. That one's already dried. And while the other one's drying, we'll turn it. Okay. We're going to move on. We're going to do the wine glasses while these kind of just, let me see. Maybe we're almost dry already. Maybe we can go ahead and do those. We'll just keep with that. How about that? All right, sorry. Let's keep on. We're just going to move on with this. All right. I think this is going to be okay. Because stain dries really quickly. Sometimes you can even hit it with like a blow dryer and stuff like that. As long as you've wiped it off really good, you can usually hit it with that. I have a heat gun and I kind of do that and it usually dries fairly quickly. So, while that's drying, we are going to move on. I took these, you know I love my laser cutter, and I cut some of these squares out. And I actually cut them out to go onto the fronts of these, okay? I was looking through the fall decor and I'd seen a whole bunch of, if you go through, you'll see some of them are, in the fall decor, they have a bunch of plaques out and they're put to the front and I'm like, hey, I could do that. Or they're sometimes inside a box, however. But I knew that that was something that I could cut with my laser cutter. So I will offer these up if you're interested and you want to grab these little boxes and you wanted to do something with them because they would be great to use. I'm going to probably redo something like this again at Christmas time as well on the table. But I thought I'm going to go ahead and cut some and I am going to adhere it to the front of my little plaque. Okay? And this is actually going to be our dinner menu. So I made up a little dinner menu right here, and I just printed it out in my sub printer, and we're going to press it onto there. But first we need to cut it out. So I'm doing 2 of the dinner menus for our table. So let me get these cut out, okay? And for those of you that are new, I'm using the Carl brand cutter, rotary cutter, and I'm just making sure that my little menu here is, I don't like to hand cut things because when you cut it with your cutter, you have more even edges and you're able to line up things a little bit easier. So I like to cut everything with my paper cutter when I can. I'll throw this little dinner menu template. It's just going to be a few things. I'll put that in the Google Drive. Okay. And I know this looks like that it's forward to you, but it's actually mirror imaged. All right. And I'm going to take my little square, which is, let's do this one. Now on these squares, these are the MDF squares that I use for my sublimation. They do have a film on them. You need to peel them off. All right. And as you can see, when you get them, they're going to be kind of a little bit dirty, but that's really just the charring of the laser. Okay. But once the film's removed, it's bright white. So don't be alarmed if you get any cuts that come from me and they're a little bit like that. You got to wipe them off around the edges with a baby wipe. That's all I use. Just take a baby wipe, wipe them off around the edges, and then peel it. And then that way your edges are a little bit clean. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my menu and I'm going to literally apply it to the front. And see how nicely that lined up. I mean, it was a perfect cut around there. So I was able to line that up nicer and be able to make sure that it's going to be correct. And that's why I like the paper cutter. So we're going to do 2 of these. And I think having the menus out is nice. I've been to many dinner parties and not known what we were going to eat. And I thought this would be nice just for someone to know, okay, that's what's on the menu when they sit down. All right, so if you're new and you're watching new to this, we're going to do these at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. You are going to, I like to use a pressing pillow because I have a clamshell, and the clamshell has a little bit of fluctuation with pressure because the pressure is always greater in the back than it is to the front. To me, a pressing pillow helps even out that. So I use my pressing pillow 99% of the time. Even when on items where it says you don't need to, I usually tend to anyways. So I have a pressing pillow. This is just the Cricut brand pressing pillow. It's been my favorite. The density of it is, I love the density of it, and it lasts me a long time, and I do a lot of pressing. I press hundreds of items a week. Okay, so these really last for me. I love them. This is my 16 by 24 press. This is a 16 by 20 pillow. And you're also going to need your butcher paper. So your butcher paper you will use every single time you press, and that is to make sure that any ink is not going onto your surface down below, and no ink is coming back up onto your plate and on the top. Okay, you can buy this at Costco, Sam's Club, GFS, Amazon. I did get this comes in a roll. Now this does not come with it. This is separate. This is the butcher paper stand. I can't remember. I think that's what it's called. And this is the butcher paper. You can get 1,000 feet for about $20–25. And you're going to use that. That is a staple item you need with sublimation. Okay. So I give these heavy pressure and print side up. Okay. So we're going to do that for 60 seconds. You can tell Fall's here getting that little bit of a scratchy throat that I always get. Never had allergies, and just, sorry, just till the last couple years, I kind of noticed that when I have the change of the seasons, kind of get those little bit of allergies. Only because friends say, oh, my allergies are acting. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I get that little bit of a scratchy throat, so I've never dealt with that, but who knows? That's what happens with age, right? Okay. So these seem pretty much dry. So we're going to bring these over again because we are going to be using those. All right, let me tell you, MDF that comes off of the press is extremely hot. So I like to use my gloves, and these are just gloves I bought off of Amazon. They're for like in the beauty supply tools, and that they're just gloves for like curling irons. But that's what I use. All right, there we go with that. And there's my little menu. I know it's backwards and it's hard to see, but this is the menu. Oops. And there we go, another one. So everybody's gonna know what is for dinner while they are sitting at the table. Okay, so while those are cooling off, I am going to grab, if you remember, I used those glue dots for adhering the Give Thanks on the centerpiece. I'm actually going to use that again for doing this because once these little pedestals are done, I think I want to reuse them. I want to change them out whenever I change out my table. So I don't want to adhere these with anything like hot glue or permanent glue, because that way I could take these and remove these easily and then move to the next season. Or just whenever I need a cute little plaque in any decor, whether it be sitting on a tabletop, whether it be sitting on like an end table or a table that you might decorate or above your windowsill. That way I can change this out. All right, so let's make sure. All right, this is cooled down enough. And what I'm using is, I do use the permanent dots, Zots. These are them little glue dots. I use the permanent ones because they're really not permanent. They would be more permanent if they were on paper. But since this is wood or anything like that, you know how when you get those little things, your like credit cards, anything like that in the mail, and those things kind of come off. That's what these are. They're just glue dots. I use the permanent ones because on wood, you don't need the removable ones because they just peel off anyways, okay? But now if you were using paper or something like that, you wouldn't want to use the permanent. If you were changing it out, you would need repositionable. But I didn't find that to be with this. So I'm just taking the glue dots. If you've never used these, I love them. And I'm literally just going to lay it on the roll. I'm gonna put it on the back, as you can see it's where you can see it is. I'm gonna rub that glue. Let me roll this back up here before I have a glue mess everywhere. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Let me tear that off. And I'm going to put more along the bottom. Let me tear that off. And then all I'm going to do, once I got that adhered, I'm going to pull the paper away. The dots will stay. My thing's still a little warm, so it's not working the greatest. You have to really make sure that your MDF is cooled down enough. This is still just a tad warm, but we'll make it work. because these dots stick nicely whenever you just put them on and it's cold. But this is still a little warm. Okay, so I got a bunch of dots on the back. All right, all I'm gonna do is stick this. I'm gonna just line this up and I'm gonna stick this to my plaque. How cute is that? Now you got your little dinner menu sitting out, but I wanted to add height to it because I kind of felt that it got lost down in the table when it's sitting, because it was sitting too low. You know, it would only be sitting down here and a lot of people might not have been able to see it. So this is where these are coming in, all right? And all I'm gonna do is, I have my glue gun. Okay, this one's unplugs. I love this one because I can unplug it, plug it in to be while it's warming, and then I can unplug it and take it wherever I want. And all I'm gonna do is I am gonna add hot glue to this. You could hot glue it, you could permanent glue it with any kind of wood glue, Gorilla Glue, anything like that, but hot glue will work. And then I'm just going to let that sit on there until it dries. And we are going to move on to our next. These glue dots. Oh, if you get them on you, they're a nightmare. It's like a burr. Anybody ever have a burr on them? Trying to remove one burr and you get another burr stuck, right? These are like the glue dots. That's what glue dots are like. That's what they remind me of. Okay, see, this one's cooler, so it's starting, it just peels off a lot easier. Okay. And then I am going to, sorry I keep going off camera. I'm in such a limited space where I have the camera set up here. Good morning, Linda. Okay, so for those of you that are just jumping in, we are actually making our dinner menus to sit on our table. And if those of you that are interested in getting a Glowforge or any kind of laser cutter, I hesitated on it for a couple years before I did it because it is a big purchase, I'm not going to lie. But I'll tell you what, I use my laser cutter almost every day. I do use it every day. That thing's running all the time. I love my laser cutter. It has opened up a whole new window of doing crafts for me. What I can offer to my customers, and what I can do for myself. I make a lot of things for my grandkids. I make a lot of things for my home, for decor, because I now can do that. And then having the sublimation to be able to do with it, have it hand in hand as, you know, working together. I love it. So if anybody's ever interested in it, I do have a discount code in the announcements, so just go to my announcements. You could save a couple $100 on it. And at one point when they were shipping them, I waited 9 months for mine, but they are back to shipping within 2 weeks time now, so that's awesome, because like I said, I waited like 8 or 9 months till I finally had got mine. Look how cute this little guy is. And there's our little dinner menu. I mean, so adorable. Now we got 2 of them. Okay, look at our cute little dinner menus. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna add them to our table. Okay, so let's move you back here to the table. And where I'm gonna put these are, now I only have it set up for 4. My family's bigger than that, so we will have like 2 tables together, 2 long tables. But what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to put them so that people can see them on this side and that people can see the dinner menu on this side. Okay. And the menu is now going to be sitting up there for everyone to look at. They will know what they're having for dinner when they sit down. Okay, let me flip this camera so that I can give you guys a better. Okay, and there we are. We got our little dinner menu. But how cute is that? Okay. And then here was the little plaques that we did for our centerpiece. And then moving around, we can see the other menu. Okay. But I actually would love to see that when I would go to somebody else's house for dinner, because many times, like I said, we're invited to a lot of friends' house and people's house, and you go for dinner and you really don't know what's on the menu. You just it's a surprise when it's served. So I just thought, how nice would that be? People can sit down, they can actually see the menu. All right, so no guessing on the menu. All right, now we're gonna move on. Let me clean up this space a little. And if you wanted to, you could always add something to the top, like a little piece of greenery across the top of the box of your plaque, just to spice it up a little. You could, just take a piece of, and you know me, I save all my little greeneries. You could glue something up there on the top if you wanted to. But I think that is kind of just one of those ones where it's simple, it don't need anything else. And it can be changed out with the seasons or with the whenever you're hosting a dinner party. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Remember when I told you to go to when you went to the Dollar Tree and you grabbed your glasses? Make sure, for the centerpiece, make sure you had enough for every table setting. Like I said, we don't drink wine, but we use these for water. They look nice when they're out, and it gives everybody their glass of water with their regular drink, okay? So that's what we use these for. But, if you drink wine, you can do them. And what we're going to do is we're going to make wine charms for the bottom of it. Because most people, even after dinner, if they're drinking wine or whatever, and you're mingling about, you are going to be carrying your glass. And you're going to want to know which one your glass is. Wine charms were a huge thing years ago, maybe 2 years ago. Everybody was doing the wine charms. Everybody had wine charms out. They were better than, everybody takes a Sharpie and writes their name on something. I love the wine charms for the wine glasses, so we're going to make those. That way everybody can keep track of their glass after Thanksgiving dinner. Let me clean up my space here. And I am going to grab this, and I'm going to show you what I decided to use for the wine charms. Do you remember our round earrings that we did? We've done earrings several times. So these are the little round earrings that I sell. They come in a pair. They're in my shop if you're looking for them. And I figure these would make great wine charms. Why not? So when you buy them, they actually come with the hardware to it. So you'll get the bottom piece of the hardware, and then you'll get the wire that goes into the ear. The only part we're not going to use is the wire that goes into the ear. We are going to use the actual, I don't even know what this is called, a clasp. We're going to use the clasp, and we're going to use the round earring itself. And this is a really inexpensive way to make your own wine charms. All right. I don't even know where all right. So here we go. And they're double-sided. So which is nice. You can put two different designs on. You can put one design on, both sides the same. Let me look for here it is. So I just cut out I just did something really simple. I got different names on here. I'm going to put thankful, blessed, grateful, and Gather is the ones that I used, okay? So I just, I'll have these also in my Google Drive. This will be in there as well. I'll throw them in. And we're going to just put these onto our earring blanks, which are going to be our wine charms. All right? And I'm going to show you how easy the wine charms are to make. And I'm going to show you what I used for them besides this. All right. Now, I am going to hand cut this because it does not matter. Because there's 4 of them together, and we are going to do the 4 together. All right? And they just fit perfectly on our earring blanks. So all you're going to do is get your, put this aside. All you're going to do is put your earring blank onto your design, tape it down, but I've seen wine charms out there. They can be expensive for some wine charms. But how adorable would these be to make your own? Because you literally could custom. You can even put names on them if you wanted. If you wanted to put a name on it, let somebody take their own wine charm home. You could do that. But these earrings were like the perfect size. Okay. So again, we're going to use the butcher paper. I've got them all taped down onto my design. And design side up. And again, 400 degrees, 60 seconds. Okay. So we have these little clasps. We're going to need the 4 of them. And you know what? I think I need my glasses. Because I can't see. I know I'm just rambling on here. How is everyone? Does anybody have family coming home for Thanksgiving? You know, I always have it at my house with all of my children and families. So we've grown a lot over the last couple years. I have 7 grandchildren now, from 2 to 7. Okay. And again, I'm going to need my gloves. And when I lift up my press, let me give you a little tip. When you lift up your press, don't pop it. Because that sometimes will cause ghosting in whatever you're doing. And if you're new to what ghosting is, it is a little bit of the image kind of shifting your ink, and it kind of makes that same print, but like as a shadow. So you really don't want to really pop that heat press out open. I always try to give mine a little bit lighter so it doesn't pop. More controlled, I guess. You're packing for a road trip to Pensacola, Florida. Lucky you. We are actually, speaking of which, next Monday, I won't be doing the hot off the press. I'm going to do it. I'm going to skip a week and I'm going to do it. It is my 27th anniversary. So me and my husband are heading out to, we are going to go to Kentucky. So I booked us to go see the Ark in Kentucky. We've been wanting to see that. So we will be away for a week for our anniversary. Every year we go away. And we usually, the last 3 years I've always booked us. We love Tennessee. So we always go to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. But this year I thought, let's do something different. So we're celebrating 27 years this year. And we're going to go to see the Ark in Kentucky. Okay. Let me show you how beautiful these turned out. Let me get my gloves off. So I won't be holding but I will catch back up the following week. Look how pretty. Okay. They all turned out so nice. Okay, so here we go. We got our 4 wine charms. And these are what I used for the wine charms. And I bought these at Michael's in the jewelry section. It was the hoop earrings. Now, I don't know if that's right. We go, happy anniversary. We got every, it's your 54th. Well, happy anniversary, Linda. Okay, so this is what I use. All right, this is what I'm using for the wine charms. They're very easy. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to use or not, but when I was there searching, that's what I found. All right, and this is what they look like. They're just hoop earrings. They're ready to go. All you got to do with them, and this is where I need my glasses, is you're going to need a little pair of needle nose pliers. And all you're going to do is this little end right here, you are going to take and you are going to slightly just bend it back. Okay, and it gives it a little hook. So let's do this. Gives it a little hook for you. Okay, can you see that? That's all you got to do to that. And then that way when you are putting it into there, you're able to hook it together through that loop. All right, but you don't want to do that until you got your charms on it. So let's do that once we do it. Okay. But I also, when I was there, you know, I'm a more girl. I found these and I thought, how pretty are these little hearts? So you can add them. You can put those on instead of doing these if you wanted to. You could do any kind of charms if you wanted to. That's totally up to you. I'm going to do these little charms. Let me get these over here. Okay, let me get that in here. So once we got that together, let me find my little, there we are. I couldn't find them. Sorry, keep going off camera. I have stuff over here as well. Sorry. Okay, maybe this will help so that we're not there no more. So now it's time to put these on, and that's the little hardware that comes with it. It's our little clasps. These are so easy to do. They fit on very easy. All we have to do is you just got to open these up, okay? Because these, let me see if I can get, this little bugger got to be opened, okay? See how it's closed? Okay, we're going to just open it up. So all I do is I get my tweezers, I get my needle nose just to hold it, and then I pull that apart. And when you pull it apart, you can see how that is, all right? Get the camera, there we go. And then it's so easy because it literally just pushes right into this. If I can see here. And then all it does is it literally clamps to itself, all right? And that's how that clamps in. And again, this is the earrings. So this is the earring hardware that it comes with. And all I do is just clamp it in. And very easy. All we're going to do now is I'm actually going to take these little charms. I'm going to add the charms, and I'm going to add the one that we already made. And you're just going to slide it in. Okay. And sorry, there it is, the little charm. And now is the time when you're going to take and you're going to bend that top, and you're just going to give it a little bend back so that you're able to hook it. Okay. And now you got yourself a little hook, and you're able to go ahead and hook that onto your wine glass. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the wine glass just to show you how it fits. But look how cute that is. Now you got your own little wine glass charms. Okay. So let me get all 4 of these done. We'll move on to the next one. So let me get another little charm. I'm going to put on here. And then I need to get my little clasp. Put on. Now we did the blessed one. It's done. And we're just going to hook it on. Again, another one done. These make cute wine charms. Like really cute. So if you have earrings laying around that you haven't used, make them into some wine charms. What did I use? All right, so these are all different colors, which makes it nice. Okay. And you actually could even just bend these beforehand. I already have these pre-bent. I said to bend them after. You can actually do them beforehand. It's not making much of a difference because that little hole goes right through it. All right. These are great for any occasion, actually. Even if you're just having a party and you need wine glass charms, these are perfect. And you can always put them on there to say whatever you wanted for your whatever's going on, for whatever party you're hosting. And one more. Let's go with a dark green. These are kind of wired in, so we got to take them apart. And again, all we do is just loop that through. I'm just looping through a charm. I always knew one day I would use my earrings for something else because I've only made a few earrings from those, believe it or not, from my earring stash. I've only done a few earrings for myself. And I love the hardware that comes with them because they're so easy to do. You don't have to worry about jump rings, nothing like that. It's just as simple as that with these earrings. And then we're just going to thread it on. And we are, wrong way. And that's it, we're done. Okay, I can't see here. Sometimes my eyes are my worst enemy here. There we go, we got all our little wine charms. How cute is that? Okay. Simple. I'm gonna go around the dinner table. Yeah, those are cute. Get the glasses off here, turn you around. And look how cute those little wine charms look, sitting on the table. And then we have our menus, which we could turn a little more so the people down below could see. But again, inexpensive ways to decorate the table. But to add color, if you're looking to add some additional color to your table, and just to have something that people think, you know, she really thought that out for us. And there we are. Simple, easy. And I bet you didn't realize that wine charms were so easy to make. Okay, so there we are. Our dinner table is almost there. Okay, so we're getting there. Okay. So that was the two things that I had for you today. I will not be here next week, next Monday. I am taking off. Let me put it down this way. We are going to, so that we can see the table. I won't be here next Monday, but we will continue on the following week. I have napkins that we are going to do. We are going to do napkins, and I can't remember if there was some. Oh, and we're also going to do coffee cups. It seems like once that the tumblers came out and everybody, you know, jumped on the tumbler bandwagon or selling wagon, everybody kind of forgot about those coffee cups. And coffee cups is still a really good seller. And what better thing to have? Most people have coffee with their dessert. So we're also going to do coffee cups. I'm going to do it two ways for you. I am going to do, we're going to do it one in the mug press. I'm going to show you how a mug press works. And I'm also going to do a coffee cup in the convection oven. So that way you can see how they are both done, okay? They're going to be two different times. They're done two different ways, all right? So we're going to go over the coffee cups. That way you can have it. If you could, it's greatly appreciated. Yes, I made the menu too. Yes. Sorry, Christy, I kind of missed you a comment here. Or were these 2 months ago? Okay. Okay, I can't see the whole comment, sorry. Okay, I'll go back and read. About the wine charms. Oh, okay. If you could please let me know. I'm going to have to go back and read the comments. When I'm on my phone, it only gives me a certain, like maybe 2 lines, and then I can't read anything after that. Even if I push see more, it doesn't work. Okay. But, so we're going to do the coffee cups. I have napkins, and I think that might be it. And then that pretty much is going to finish that up for Thanksgiving. And, so, yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to read comments, sorry. I will watch the rewind. Okay. Do you think I have time to still order and make 200 of them? Of the wine charms, Christy? Of the wine charms. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, wine charms. It depends. Message me. Why don't you message me, and then that way we can see about what time frame you're talking, what you need, things like that. Okay. And then I can give you an idea on how. Do you think you still have time to order and make 200? Just message me. All right. I'll message you, or you message me right after this, and then we can talk. That way I can see what you're talking and what we're thinking about doing. Okay. But, so we're going to do the coffee cups. We're going to do the napkins, not next week, but the following week thereafter. And then we should pretty much be finished with this table. And, a lot of this stuff we are going to reuse for different holidays, because I'm going to do a Christmas table with you guys. And, such as the centerpiece things, those can be reused, as you've seen. If you haven't followed along, you need to watch part 1 and part 2. We did this where this centerpiece is not permanent. We can just take it out. We're going to change it out with the holiday. This is not permanent because we only put these on with glue dots. We can change that out and put a whole new menu on for our next menu, or we can just do a plaque, whether it be, we could have done plaques here instead of a menu if you didn't want to, you know, something like gobble till you wobble, you know, the cute little things, eat pie, whatever. You could always do that. It doesn't have to be a menu, but I thought it was a nice idea to have a menu at the table. Some people will do like a paper menu, which is just as fine. And if you wanted to not do that and have just plaques here that say something, that's just as good. These can always be, even if you got the cutting boards and you didn't want to put something permanent on here, you could always just leave it blank. And these could be fun little things. You could play Pictionary at the dinner table. We have done that over the years. We have played Pictionary and played games, you know, at the table while we're eating dessert, beforehand when people are coming in. You know, you could say on there something if you wanted to put, you know, say something that you're thankful for. It doesn't necessarily have to say that, and then everybody can write it on there. These can always be left blank. They do not have to have a permanent design on. And you can just go and do whatever you want with that. Wine charms, those can be used yearly. They don't have to be necessarily have, you know, the orange on it and the lettering. You could put something on it that could be all year or for any occasion. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to do, and to be able to see that once you got an item doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a permanent item. It could be changed out. All right. And that one thing can be used with multiple tables, multiple decor, multiple times. Okay. That's pretty much it. I am going to head on out. If you ever have any questions or anything, you can always message me. If I don't get back to you in a reasonable time, like if half a day went by and I didn't reply to you, you might need to go over to my Etsy shop, because sometimes, I don't know why Facebook has this, but you have 2 messengers, and sometimes it goes over there and I don't even realize it because it doesn't alert me on my second messenger as to someone, you know, messaged me. So if that happens, you can always find me in my Etsy shop. I do answer those, you know, right away. I get alerts for those. So, alrighty. Okay, so everybody have a great week. And I love you guys. You be blessed.